Hey, how's it going everyone? Vintage Revival here with another great restoration video. Today we got us a 1950s Soviet-made table fan. As you can see, the condition isn't too bad, just some light surface rust and some paint chipping, but overall good condition. Fan blade's a little yellowed, but nothing too crazy. Clicky thing there works. And here on the nameplate we can see the CCCP with a 220 volt and a 1956 year stamp, and about the same paint condition all around. So join me as we take this fan and get it looking brand new again. Here's a little sneak peek of how things turn out at the end. Little teaser for you guys. Starting with the disassembly process, we're going to take it down to its individual components and assess each component and what needs to be done. There's nothing too fancy here, just some screws and some bolts, so I'll let y'all watch as we go through this process. You can see quite a bit of rust there on the bottom, but nothing too crazy. Sandblaster should be able to make quick work of it. Now looking at these two holes right here that this wire is run through, I'm not sure if that's original to it because the drill markings look rather new. I couldn't find anything on the interweb, so who knows, but I assume it's not. There was no rust of any kind in those drill holes. Here looking at the motor, looks to be in great shape. Just trying to figure out how to get this wired out of the components there. Here I just wanted to show you a close-up of the motor. Now to start the cleaning and stripping process, just going to use a little purple power and a toothbrush on this nameplate to clean it up and protect it. I don't want to get too aggressive on it. I'm going to go ahead and tape up that nameplate to ensure that we don't lose any information on it. Now we're going to start the paint stripping process. I use citrus strip and I always put it on quite liberally. Sometimes it works great and other times it takes a couple rounds. I only film one round of it because, you know, it's kind of boring watching it over and over. Watch a paint peel. Now we're going to go ahead and switch to the fan blade and get it all cleaned up. We'll start out with some purple power and just a light emery cloth, kind of a wet sanding. I don't want to be too aggressive and leave scratches in the plastic. Go ahead and use a little toothbrush as well. It cleans up pretty quick, pretty easy. You'll notice I didn't do all the blades there, but that's just the video editing. I don't want to bore y'all too much with small details. Here we're going to go ahead and start getting all that paint stripper off, and you'll notice that it does a great job on this black paint, but not so much on the red paint, and that's okay. I'll get all that red paint taken care of off camera and we'll go from there. You can see here what I'm talking about. It hardly took any of that red paint off of there. I think I do another 2 or 3 runs with a citrus strip before getting it all off of there. And here we are in the blast booth, as I like to call it. Nothing much to explain here. Pretty straightforward. I do like showing the satisfaction of little paint rows coming off, so we can see here. And we won't spend too much time in here. We're going to go ahead and move on to the painting. And I start out with a self-etching primer. Even though we sandblasted everything, I'd like to make sure that things will stick. Not going to show too much of it. We all understand the process. And here we're going to start with a red. And I like to stay away from rattle cans as much as I can, but with these small components, it just didn't make sense to bust out the paint gun and mix all the paint and all that time. And I did use a satin paint, not a high gloss paint. Just getting all the sides and stuff here done. I did 3 coats in total on all these pieces. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and move on to the motor. Just using a bit of brake cleaner here to get all that old grease and grime out of there and out of those bearings. Just want to give everything a good wipe down and get any residual grease out. Nothing too aggressive. Going to use a little compressed air to get it dried off. Looking good. Spinny of the bearings. So I was really worried about those connections, so I want to go ahead and cut off this heat shrink and have a look at them. They felt really loose. As you can see here, it's not looking too good. I can see a bunch of bare copper there that makes it loose. So we're going to go ahead and bust out the soldering iron and get everything soldered up real good. Ensure a tight connection. Just going to get this soldering job finished up here. Since I didn't take the wires completely off, I couldn't use heat shrink, so I'm going to go ahead and use some electrical tape with some abrasive tape over it, which should do the job just fine. Here I'm just going to go ahead and apply that abrasive tape to help protect the electrical tape. Here we can see it's all done and nice. So let's go ahead and start the assembly process. You can see we got all our pieces all nice and done up and looking good. This is a pretty straightforward process. Just put all the screws and bolts back where they belong. So I'll shut up and let y'all enjoy or not enjoy. It's up to y'all. And we're just about finished here. Just trying to figure out how I'm going to wire up that on-off switch. Got a little nervous about the paint, so put a rag down. Probably should have done that in the beginning. And on the switch, it's just a tiny little set screw, little flathead set screw to hold the wire in. You're just going to go ahead and get that last wire in there. Put that rubber grommet on. Grommet, I think is how you pronounce it. For some reason there wasn't one on the other side. I don't know if that was factory or not. Gonna be real careful here not to scratch some paint. And just about down here, got to get this plug put back together. And with AC voltage, it doesn't matter which lead goes where. And here we're just about finished. Gotta figure out where the camera is and then get that fan blade put on. Gotta do the spin check. Looking good. Clicky click. So here it is, guys, the finished piece. I hope y'all enjoyed the process as much as I do. I appreciate y'all watching, and if you feel so inclined, go ahead and hit that like, or even better, the subscribe button. And until next time, I'll keep digging for that next unique piece to go through this process again with you. Y'all have a good day, okay?